Hello everyone, again, Yair Spitz here from the field with another update. So yesterday evening we were notified that today's the day that we are moving out, closer to the direction where we're going to be operating in. And things got a lot more real. That means that everything became a lot more stressful. Everyone has to step up their game as far as getting ready in all aspects. That means getting the munitions ready, getting food ready, loading all the vehicles. A lot of small technical things that need to be taken care of and checked and double-checked and triple-checked, because once we leave our base, whatever wasn't done before we left our base cannot be done. Whatever is left behind cannot be, we can't get it again. And therefore we'll be out in the field. Whatever we have with us, we have. Whatever we don't, we don't. So there's a tremendous sense of urgency when it comes to all the technical, physical things. But of course, at the same time, once everyone's getting ready like that, also people's awareness of what's going on from an emotional, psychological, spiritual level also gets heightened. And in the last 12 hours, I've had three very meaningful encounters and conversations that I would love to share with all of you. The first is the armored personnel carrier that I'm on is the vehicle that's meant for evacuating people who have been either injured or chas v'chalila, God forbid, killed. And with me on that same vehicle is a paramedic. So we're walking together to our armored personnel carrier in order to make sure everything's okay, put our equipment in. And he says to me, Rabbi, I want to ask you for a favor. Are you willing to teach me how to put on tefillin? So I said, yes, of course. And I said, do you mind if I asked, why? Why now? He went on to say that his life has been saved twice in the last couple of weeks, and therefore he feels the need to do something with that. So I asked him, I said, would you mind sharing with me what are you referring to? So he said yes. He said, I was supposed to be in that party, the nature party where there was the tremendous, terrible massacre. He said I was planned to be there. I had tickets for it. I was planned to be there, but the day before, my friend who I was supposed to get a ride with from Eilat up to the party, he said he had an issue with his car, and he's not confident his car can make it, and therefore he decided not to go. He said I was very upset. I was very annoyed at him. We had made these plans for a long time. It was supposed to be amazing, and I couldn't find a different way to get there, and they ended up staying home just to hear after on Chag what happened and what I was. And then he told me something else that happened to him recently, which is not so relevant, but also something else that he feels where his life was spared, was saved, and he felt that it was divine intervention. Mind you, this is someone who said he needed to be taught how to put on tefillin because he has never put on tefillin, meaning not in his bar mitzvah. So you understand what kind of background he's coming from. So I said to him, I said, of course, I'll teach you, and we'll have a chance to talk about it a little bit more in our vehicle. And then I said to him, look, I have to tell you. I said, the fact that that's the meaning that you are giving to the events that are happening to you is amazing. I said, a person could easily interpret these things as coincidence. You could see them as everything is chance. One of his friends was murdered. One of his other friends who did go to the party was murdered. And the person could easily become a nihilist, can look at it and say everything is chance and there's no meaning and there's no purpose, and lead their life based on that. I said to him, but you chose differently. You understood. You felt. You evidently, obviously, you felt that there's someone watching over you. He said, he used the word mashgiach. He used the word mashgiach. And I said, the fact that you are choosing to give you're able to feel this and understand it, and to give it meaning, and to give it to drive you to want to do something with it, such as put on tefillin. I said that is a very meaningful. It says a lot about who you are, and the fact that you're doing it here, as we're about to go to war. I said this strengthens not only you, it strengthens me, it strengthens everyone around us who is going to see it, who's going to be part of it, and will hear what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. A couple hours later, another soldier comes up to me, asks to speak with me, and I could see he seems very, very tense. And he says to me, I've had something sitting on my conscience for a few days, and I feel the need to unburden myself. And he goes on to say that he sees every night all the soldiers, they take out their phones, they call their wives, they call their children, and he sees how it strengthens them. And then he just stopped and he started bawling, crying. And he said, I'm all alone. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. He said, I have elderly parents. I have older brothers and sisters, but I don't have anyone for me to speak to. He says, I'm 30 years old. I've been wanting to get married for years. I've always, from a young age, I've wanted to have children, but it just hasn't happened. I haven't found the right person. He says, and now I'm all alone. He says, I see everyone else here. They have someone to love. They have someone to love them. They have someone to motivate them. They have who to fight for. They know they're fighting for their wives. They're fighting for their children. He says, and they have who to speak to and to share with. He says, and I have no one. He says, I have no one. I'm all alone. At that point, he cried. I cried with him. I imagine there's no right thing to say. After a few moments, I said the following. I said, look. I said, first of all, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're here. I'm here. Your unit is here. Your friends are here. Your Pluga is here. Your battalion is here. We're all brothers, and we're here together, and we're here with you. And you're going to fight for yourself, and you're going to fight for us, and you're going to fight for all of Am Yisrael. All of Am Yisrael is one. And I told him about all of our brothers and sisters from Israel and from across the world, who he says you have who to fight for. I said that's so you're not alone. We're here. We're together. And then the second thing I said to him is, it's not true that you don't have a wife. I said, you do have a wife. You just haven't met her yet. You have a wife to fight. You have children to fight for. You just haven't met them yet. They just haven't been born yet. But you have a wife. You have children, and you have them you fight for them. You fight so your children will have a country to grow up in that is free and that is safe and that is prosperous, and you have in mind that Bezrat Hashem, when your children will be born, you will tell them this story. You will tell them that you were in the war, and you were single, and you dreamt of the day that you will have kids, and you'll tell them, I dreamt about you, and I fought in that war, so you will be born. So I'll be able to marry your mother, and you will be born, and I'll be able to raise you in this country and to sit here and to tell you this story. So I said to him. And thankfully, it looked like those words were meaningful to him. He cried. We cried together a little bit more, and we said we would speak again a little bit later. But it's hard to describe the types of emotions that are swelling up in people. Everyone doing their best on all different fronts, but amazing to see. I think there's a lot to reflect on that one, but it was amazing to see the degree to which our families are significant to us, even in situations, or especially in situations like this. About 2-3 hours later, I wanted to find this specific soldier. His name is Dedi. I wanted to find Dedi in order to follow up with him, see how he was doing, and speak to him a little bit more. It's not about giving someone just an answer. It's about giving them the support over time. So I went to the area where his unit, his small unit is within the battalion, and I had just met him, so I didn't really know him that well. And there was some other guy who looked very much like him, and I turned to him. I said, Dedi, right? I said to me, no, I'm not Dedi. I said, I apologize. You look like someone I'm looking for. I apologize. And then I was going to leave, and I thought to myself, wait a second, there's another soldier here I don't know. So I turned to him and said, I apologize for mixing you up. What's your name? I said, I'm Yair. I'm the battalion rabbi. What's your name? Who are you? He told me his name. The other soldiers were sitting there. I don't know everyone in the battalion. It's 450 soldiers, so it takes time to get to know everyone, and let alone to remember everyone. So I said hello. We spoke for very briefly, 20-30 seconds. And now as I'm about to leave, he says to me, Oh, Rav, I just learned a new halacha today. Now, mind you, all these stories are from soldiers who are not what we would call observant Jews. Okay, are not what we would call frum Jews. So he tells me the following. He says that he found next to one of the vehicles, he found 3 shekel. And he said, so he saw the 3 shekel, picked it up, and he started asking around. He said, who does these 3 shekel belong to? He said, someone dropped 3 shekel. 3 shekel. Who dropped these 3 shekel? And then he said one of the religious soldiers came over to him and said, listen, the truth is, for 3 shekel, you don't really need to, for money that you just found sitting around, you don't need to try to find the owner. You can, but you don't have to. You can just take it. So he says to me, he said, is that true? So I said, yes, the truth is that's true. And we spent the next 2-3 minutes. I explained to them briefly the logic of the laws of L'chot Mitziot, something that a person is mityaesh from. If there's an amount of money that has no sign on it, it's clear that a normative person would be mityaesh from it. He would give up on it. And anyhow, okay, I imagine many people listening to this know the laws. And I said to him, yes, at the end of the day, if it's something that doesn't have it's not specific, no one could identify it. If it's just money sitting around somewhere, says you could take it, it's yours, that's it. And then I said to him, but the truth is there's a minhag, okay, for people to donate that money to tzedakah. He says it's not, you can take it, absolutely, it belongs to you, but there is a custom for people to give that money to tzedakah. It's not really, they feel like it's as we say, found money, and therefore they want to pass it on in order to give it to tzedakah. And then came the really cool part. Soldier sitting next to him, also not a religious guy, he says, yeah, exactly, that's what he says. I agree with that. He says that's what we did with the corona money. I said, what do you mean the corona COVID money? He said, well, you remember that the government at some point gave out hundreds or a couple thousand a shekel, to give 500 shekel to each family. He says we were against that. We didn't feel that it was right. We didn't feel it was right just to undiscriminately give out money to everyone. Some people needed more. Some people needed less. He says we didn't need the money. We didn't need it. We're doing fine. So whatever money came in from the government, we donated it to the poor, to organizations that collected things for the poor to support them. He says, yeah, that's. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, like this is what's called non-observant Jews. Unbelievable, amazing, and it's surreal. We're sitting in the field, trying to sit in the shade, while everyone's getting ready, and talking about Hilchot Avedot U'Metziot and Hilchot Tzedakah, as we're about to go to battle against the evil that we're facing. And with these types of stories and these types of Jews and these types of human beings, it adds tremendous amount of confidence for me, for the rest of the soldiers here, hopefully for all of you as well, that our army is like no other army in the world in all possible ways.